Today, I'm going to show you my gear of the year for 2023.
Freebie.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat. Today's patron shoutout goes to Derek Taylor. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. Welcome to my Gear of the Year video for 2023. I actually did not do one of these last year due to how busy my December schedule was, so I'm really happy to be doing it again this year. Really quick, I will note a slight change to my criteria. To win Gear of the Year, the gear doesn't have to have come out this year. This is more about how the gear has inspired me this year. Also, just because I feel like I have to say it, these are just my opinions. So feel free to disagree with me. However, don't go posting your opinion as fact. Be sure to treat it as your opinion, of course, which it is. So I'm sure a lot of you started trying to guess the winner as soon as you saw the title and thumbnail of this video, but I'm willing to bet that almost none of you are going to get it right. So let's start with what would have been the obvious choice. I've made my feelings about the Woofbox no secret. I absolutely love it. A one-person project out of Australia, this $250 US Groovebox is the closest thing that I've found to a proper OPZ replacement. Despite kind of looking like a pocket operator, it punches well above its weight and price, with a feature list that is so long I'm still finding new things that it can do. And don't worry, if you're scared of the UI experience with a feature list that long, don't be. It's simply the best and easiest to use of any Groovebox I've ever touched. Seriously, it's genius. I actually did a whole video a couple weeks ago about why it's genius. I will link that in the description. The Woofbox sounds amazing, the workflow is amazing, the value is amazing, and yet, it is not my Gear of the Year winner. Another contender, let's talk about the Dirty Wave M8. Like the Woofbox, this is also a one-person project with a tracker workflow inspired by LSDJ. The M8 is also a joy to use, especially with these nice mechanical switches. Very satisfying. The big draw here, though, for me at least, is just how good its internal synth engines sound. Seriously, the synths here are absolutely phenomenal, and combined with the stellar sampler, this is about as complete of a music-making experience as most folks will ever need. Well, if you're down with the tracker workflow, of course. While it is priced higher than the Woofbox at around $5.99 US, it's well worth that price, and I highly, highly recommend it. Now, the third most obvious contender, in my opinion, would be this, the Polyend Tracker Mini. I fell head over heels in love with the original Polyend Tracker, so when I got my hands on the Mini, I was ecstatic. While it is priced a bit high at $699 US, it should be noted, though, that I did get this one for free from Polyend, but I promise, as someone who struggles to pay rent and bills each month, I totally get the price thing. This is not a budget piece of gear. It's not what I would call affordable. It's expensive at $699. So like I said, while it is priced a bit high, Polyend did do a great job translating the workflow from the large tracker into this smaller device. And the increased sampling time, audio over USB, and internal microphone are all welcome additions. The biggest change, though, is that you can take it on the go. We can power it just from its internal battery. There we go. And of course, just like the Dirty Wave M8, The Polyenda Tracker Mini is, who would have guessed it, a tracker. Now, you'll notice that portable gear is a pretty big recurring theme so far among the 3 devices I just talked about. Portable gear is what started this channel with the PO33 and then a couple weeks after that, the OPZ. And portable gear is going to very heavily drive the direction of the channel in 2024. More on that next week. Because of that, you might be a bit surprised to learn that my Gear of the Year winner has not left my studio since the day that I got it. But first, let's have a quick honorable mention. It's another portable piece of gear. This is the Sonicware Sample Trek. While this device did release late last year, the Sample Trek experience is now pretty unrecognizable from the launch experience. With several major firmware updates, the Sample Trek has become a songwriter's best friend. From little quality of life features like being able to toggle the metronome from within tracks, to huge game-changing features like quick sampling, Sonicware has really impressed me this year with all of their firmware updates, and priced right around $400, the Sample Trek offers a lot for the songwriter on the go, and is another piece of gear that I highly recommend, provided that you can deal with the slightly smaller screen. All right, moving on to the winner. I've had this piece of gear since I believe it was late spring of this year, 2023. However, it sat in a drawer in a box for months. I tried to use it right when I first got it. I hated it, I put it away, and didn't even think about it for a very long time. It wasn't until I went to KnobCon in September and met Dustin from Roland that I started to think differently about my Gear of the Year winner, the Roland SP404 Mark II. Okay, I probably caught a lot of you off guard with this one because I haven't even featured the 404 Mark II on the channel yet, so let me explain. But before I do that, I want you to completely forget every notion you have about how you think the SP404 Mark II should be used. Done? All right. Good. Some of you probably know that I've been working on a live rig for the past few months. It's designed around playing many different parts at once: drums, keys, finger drumming, effects mingling, etc. For a long time, I was trying to figure out the easiest way to do this, and the solution I'd come up with originally involved writing the songs at the computer, exporting the parts that I would run as backing tracks into my SPD-SX, then triggering those with Drumsticks Live, playing the other parts around them. That worked, but it wasn't engaging for me, or more importantly, for my audience. It wasn't dynamic. The songs would be the same every single time. Then I discovered the SP404 Mark II. With it in what I call work mode, aka all this other gear running into the mixer, then running that audio into the 404 Mark II, I can actually sample the parts I want to run as backing tracks directly from the same gear that I'll be performing with. This immediately provides continuity to the show, and as a hands-on musician, has made songwriting an absolute joy. But from there, I can actually take the parts that I've sampled, which can be long, by the way, like really, really long, and use the 404's sequencer to construct my songs all within the 404. This allows the show to be instantly dynamic, since I'm not triggering samples directly, but rather different patterns composed of those different samples. This means that if a certain part of a song is doing well with an audience, I can extend it a bit, I can let it run, or I can even switch to a different live instrument entirely, provided that all of the backing parts are already prepared on the 404. The opposite is also true. If a part isn't tracking well with a crowd, I can quickly and easily move on. It's all about how I prepare the songs on the SP404. And as a musician who really, well, just as a person who really likes to prepare for things and have everything thought out and planned beforehand, this just works. It's absolutely fantastic, and I have completely fallen in love with not just songwriting, but also arranging and dynamically performing using the SP404 in conjunction with all of the other gear in the live rig. Now, is this achievable with other gear? Yes, absolutely. However, the form factor, the seamlessness of the sampling into sequencing, the way the patterns are triggered, it all comes together in the 404 Mark II in a way that just sits so perfectly in my live setup. Combine that with how much easier it's made songwriting for me, and the Roland SP404 Mark II is my 2023 Gear of the Year. And yes, I know I didn't even touch on the effects yet. Truth be told, I haven't really used them much at all. Yet. I will be, I promise. Another thing that I didn't put in my script is that this also has a line in for guitar. Yeah. Slash bass. So that is another element I can add into the live show if I want to, which is really nice. All right, so the Roland SP404 Mark II. I bet some of you didn't see that one coming. Let me know your Gear of the Year for 2023 in a comment down below. I'm curious as to what you've all been using for the past 365 days. Also, this video was obviously very condensed. I covered 5 different pieces of gear after all. I just want to let you know that I've got much more in-depth videos on most of the gear in this video, and I'll have proper SP404 Mark II content coming in the near future. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays to you all. Happy New Year. We'll see you next time. Bye.